From Based on a True Story and Degrassi, actress and comedian Aisha Alfa joins us. Welcome to the KJ Today Show, your place for the positive vibes of pop culture, people to know, and pets.
Good morning, KJ. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
So let's talk about all the cool stuff you're doing along with comedy. You're a writer, a comedian, a podcaster, and you're co-starring in Based on a True Story, which just came out June 8th. And Jonna here has already binged it, and I'm like halfway through it. And let's talk about how it was for you as a true crime fan to be a part of a show about true crime.
Yeah, first of all, it was an absolute dream job. I can just say that because first, the casting was phenomenal. Kaley Cuoco, Chris Messina, these two stars who I've seen in so many things and who are just so amazing to watch. Rosenberg, who wrote it, who is a phenomenal writer, such a fabulous human being to work with. He gives such grace to just dive into your character and do you. And he said to me, I cast you because I watched all of your stand-up. So I was like, oh, you get me. You get me. So it was such a wonderful moment. So it was fabulous. And I have loved true crime for so long. When I was in my early 20s, I used to just read book after book about true crime. And I loved it. So fascinating to me to learn about these people who are so different from the everyday people that we know, or maybe we know some of them, who knows. But the thing for me that was really interesting was when I had my kids, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, it was like I had to shut the door for all of the true crime that I used to love because it just gave me anxiety thinking like, my poor babies, they're going to be stalked by somebody. It was like a big left turn for me to get away from it. But this show was a great way for me to ease back in because it's about a serial killer, but it's so funny. The show itself, you were going to laugh out loud at times and you're going to be like, what is going on? It's such a good time. This was a dream come true in many different respects. Also, I got to be on set with these fabulous talents and just play and have fun. And I was allowed to improv and do all the things that I literally love to do all the time in my life. And then they paid me money. It was a joy. It was an absolute joy. Carolyn, and she's like successful. She's sassy. She's funny. She's just, I always said, like myself and Annabelle Dexter-Jones, who plays Serena, we're like the evil stepsisters, but instead of being evil, we just want everyone to have a good time and have sex. So it's very a fun role to dive into. Yeah.
I should, just so you know, I'm going to let Jonna ask the next question because she loves true crime like you do. I'm the person that is like, what is wrong with all of you people? I don't want to know what terrible human beings exist outside my bubble. And at what point are you going to introduce, is there an age now with all you true crime loving people that you're like, this is the age where I will introduce my children to the terrible true crime stuff that happens?
Look, man, I think it's like as like a woman in my 20s, you want to watch all of the true crime things because you want to be prepared for anything while you're out and about.
Exactly. It's our defense system. We are learning self-defense through this, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do I actively seek out these dangerous situations and avoid them? Yeah.
See? Aisha knows what's up, KJ.
If I was watching these shows in my 20s when I was living alone in a shady neighborhood, I would have never gotten any sleep.
Who sleeps anymore?
Aisha, we talked a little bit about being a mom, and a lot of your comedy has come from the experience of being a mom. But one of the really cool things about Based on a True Story that I found out about, I wanted to kind of maybe get your insight on what it was like to work with Kaley, who they changed the character around because she was like, hey, I want to do this, but I'm pregnant. So let me be pregnant.
Yeah.
Let the character be pregnant. How cool was that?
It was having been not that long ago pregnant twice with my 2 different kids, but it was such a beautiful, empowering thing to watch because originally the character, as I hear, was written that they would have teenage kids. And Kaley said, yeah, cool. But also, what if the character was pregnant? And then gave him a wink of, because I am, but I wanted to do it. So they changed everything around. But what I thought was fascinating was they didn't change everything. And they made it more realistic. really like to be a pregnant woman who's out there doing things, who's fabulous and amazing. She went to parties. She has like a fantasy sex scene. They don't shy away from the real things. She wore crop tops. Like they didn't try and hide it. They didn't put a big bag in front of her belly. They didn't put her into some of these horrible maternity clothes that just make you look like you're a tent. They really made her a woman of today, a contemporary woman who she's still working, she's still hustling, she's still figuring it out as a pregnant woman. And then it was just phenomenal to watch a woman do this. She was so amazing on set. She's such a champion. Watching her go through her pregnancy, we started in, I think, like October or November, and then we finished in March. And then she gave birth shortly after filming Wrapped. We got to see all the way to the end stages. And she was there all the time. She's one of the leads of the show. So she had these long hours. She was in all these scenes. She had her special chair she sat in. She had to sometimes take these breaks. But like, she was the one on set who was like looking out for the rest of us. Like we had some scenes where it was really cold outside and we were wearing these beautiful outfits that weren't warm. And she's like, I think the girls are going to be cold. Can we get some heaters in? And she's the pregnant woman making sure that everyone else is feeling okay. It was just phenomenal and really empowering to watch a woman who was successful, who was also pregnant, who clearly was going to be a great mama. She has that maternal instinct, but to watch her just rock a series and just take it to the 100%. She was great. She was phenomenal to work with.
And speaking of empowering, I did want to touch on your own background. The best part of my show here, executive producer John, is a mixed kid. So as soon as I told her about you, I was like, y'all need to talk.
Yes, mixed baby.
Right, we're winning out here, okay?
Yeah, we're taking over. Watch out, everybody. We're taking over.
See, Aisha knows what's up.
Yeah. What's your mix?
My mom is Black and my dad is white.
Okay, yeah. So I'm half Nigerian. My dad's Black, and my mom is white and like French, English, Canadian. So.
Oh, so you got like the cool. You're like cool mixed. I'm just like normal mixed.
My dad's, the only reason I know is my dad is I was born in Nigeria, but my dad's the only person from his family who's ever left. So I'm like, okay, he's Nigerian. And my mom's dad came from France. My mom came from England, so it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, like I always joke because my dad he's a very dark Black man, and my mom is a very white lady. So I'm like, my real mix is a mix from a shadow and a ghost. That's what parents really are like, more so than anything else. Yeah, but I had quite a life. I've had multiple lives before I got into entertainment and acting and stand-up comedy, and I was a professional soccer player. I've traveled the world. I was a wedding planner. I was a certified professional life coach. But yeah, it's all led me here. And this is the thing I think I'm going to do without having to worry about retiring because I love it so much.
And I do want to give a little shout out, pun intended, to your podcast, because as women in podcasting, I've been doing this and John has been with me. We started in radio, we moved to podcasting, we're in the YouTube world now, like all of those different platforms, but we would do these podcast marathons and stages and it was all a bunch of dudes. And I still, 7 years in, I'm like, where are the women? We need more women in podcasting. Shout out to you and tell us a little bit about the Shout Out Show.
Thank you. Honestly, this is one of my favorite projects I've ever done. It's a show I co-host with one of my good friends who's a stand-up comedian here in LA, Sophia Zolan. And we had Winter Spears involved at one point as well, another comedian here. But it was birthed out of the doom and gloom of the lockdown of pandemic. Sophia and I just used to go onto Instagram Live every Wednesday at a certain time. And we would just come together and spew positivity. We would talk about the things that were making us happy. We were shouting out the things in our lives that were not just death and sickness and illness and whatnot. Sometimes it was nature. Sometimes it was coffee mate. Like it just was whatever was making us happy that week. And then the Dynasty Typewriter, which is an amazing theater here, asked us to come onto their platform and do a video version. So we did that for a while. And then we turned it into a podcast where we had a guest who would come on and give some shout outs and then give a personal mantra about whatever they did, whether they were an actor, a writer, a singer, or whatever. But it was honestly, it's just this beautiful pocket of positivity. And I don't know if you've seen, and I'm sure you have, but the thumbnail of what our logo is, it's the two of us. It's a cartoon character of Sophia and I vomiting rainbows, because that's
yes,
in a nutshell, you know, just a positive. And it's speaking to to work with women. I love my guys and stuff, but I love working with women. There's just something so empowering and beautiful about it, where you have this like underlying understanding, I think, of what's going on. So yeah, what a gift to be able to do that podcast with one of my close gal pals.
I love it. It's so similar to what we built here with the KJ Today Show and the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. Of we are, if you go to our channel, it says we're your positive vibes channel, because we can talk pop culture and we can talk what's happening in the world and the people that are making news, and we talk pets, but you can always find some way to bring some positive in it. And if we're doing a little bit to make the world a little better and all of us do our part, eventually we're going to rise up that positive vibe, and there's going to be more out there. I don't mean to get super deep on you, Aisha, but I thank you for doing your part in making the world more positive.
I'm like, women doing positive things, that's what eventually is going to take over and make the world a safe, kind, wonderful place. So we are literally making changes. We are making changes. Yeah.
Yes, we are. All right. Before I let you go, we do this thing on our show called One Must Go. And so we give you two things, and it might be a person, might be a food, but no one is harmed. It's like the Marvel, like the Thanos blip, like it's just gone. It just never happened. Okay. So don't worry about any cruelty or anyone. No one's ever been harmed in the making of One Must Go. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
So to start off, we're going to start in the Disney world, because you spent a lot of time on Degrassi, and I know we've got a lot of fans listening. So let's start with Disney princesses. One must go: Cinderella or Ariel?
Obviously Cinderella. Hello, Ariel's not black. Come on, girl. Hey, I'm like, Cinderella. I feel for her. You know what I mean? I feel for her. She's got those evil stepsisters. She's got that stepmom. That story is quite tragic, in fairness. But I'm going to have to go with my girl Ariel. Who doesn't like a mermaid? I wish I could sing. And now Ariel is black in the new remake. So I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
All right. And then another project of yours, Sorry for Your Loss, starred Elizabeth Olsen from Marvel and Kelly Marie Tran from Star Wars. Two things I love most in the world. One must go: Marvel or Star Wars?
Ooh, I am going to make enemies answering this either way. What are you doing, CKJ?
She does this to me all the time.
I know. I'm like, it is 6:55 in the morning over here. Okay. I think I'm going to have to say, okay, I would have, if you asked me this 5 years ago, I think I would have said Marvel's got to go, because I wasn't that into it. And
Okay.
I've watched Star Wars. But now, with all of the Star Wars, like prequels and all the stuff going on, I'm too confused, and I have checked out. And now my son is so into Marvel, and it's such a joy to watch him like be obsessed. So I think I'm going to have to swap and say Star Wars can go. I'm sorry, everybody. Please don't hate me. Please don't send me hate mail.
Oh, gosh. Aisha's my new best friend.
All right. And finally, the most important one here, we switch to fruit. One must go: the pineapple or the banana?
Oh, we all know the banana's got to go. If people know me at all, people know I detest bananas. And people hate on me for this. I know bananas is a superfruit. It has all the things, blah, 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 blah. If someone opens a banana in a room and I'm not even looking, it's so pungent to me. I'm like, somebody open a banana. I need to leave. I can't be here anymore. My husband is not allowed to eat a banana in our house without eating it quickly, throwing the peel in a bag, which he has tied, and then taken out of the house. It's too much for me. I cannot. So pineapple, 110% all day, every day, morning to night.
So is it just the smell of the banana, or did you and a banana have a bad experience together?
I don't know what it is. My brother is the exact same way. Like, I don't want to touch a banana. I can't. If I go grocery shopping, I will not buy bananas for my husband. The sound of people eating it, I can't deal with it. I'm like, be away from me. Be away from me. It's just, I cannot do it. It's horrible. Everything about it.
Oh, Aisha, you are welcome anytime on our show. It has been such a joy. Everybody go watch Based on a True Story, because it is a blast. And check out Aisha's comedy album, All the Parts, which you can watch on YouTube, where you find us as well. Thank you, Aisha. Positive vibes to you, and have a lovely day.
Thank you. This has been so much fun.
Thanks for joining us for another celebrity interview. Of course, the KJ Today Show isn't just about talking to celebs. It's about hanging out with you. Join us live on Wednesday nights for pop culture, people to know, and pets. The KJ Today Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch live Wednesday nights at 7.